Welcome back to Random Crime Vids Daily. In this episode, we delve into the chilling Wamsley family murders. This case not only shocked the local community, but also left investigators baffled with its complex web of deceit and unexpected twists. On the surface, the Wamsley family appeared to be the epitome of suburban success, but beneath the facade lay deep-rooted secrets and simmering tensions. Tonight, we unravel the events that led to the brutal slaying of a seemingly ordinary family, explore the perplexing motives behind the crime, and uncover the truth that turned a peaceful neighborhood into a scene of horror. What makes this case particularly compelling are the surprising nature of the crime itself and the unexpected turns during the investigation. Join us as we embark on this journey through the shadows. The Wamsley family, composed of Rick and Susanna Wamsley, along with their two children, had long been pillars of their community in Mansfield, Texas. Rick, a successful accountant, and Susie, who traded in antiques, were known for their active involvement in local charities and social events. Their home was often described as warm and welcoming, a true reflection of their outwardly perfect family life. However, behind closed doors, the pressures of maintaining such an image took their toll. Personal conflicts began to surface, setting the stage for the tragic events that would later unfold. As we delve deeper into this case, we'll see how these underlying issues contributed to the catastrophic unraveling of the Wamsley family's facade. Despite their outward appearance, the Wamsley family dynamics were fraught with tension. Rick's demanding career often kept him away from home, leaving Susie to manage the household and care for their children. Their son, Andrew, felt neglected and burdened by high expectations, leading to frequent arguments and tension within the family. Meanwhile, their daughter, Sarah, struggled to find her own identity amidst the family turmoil. These simmering conflicts created an environment ripe for discord, ultimately contributing to the tragic events that would shatter their lives. Understanding these underlying tensions is crucial to unraveling the mystery behind the Wamsley family murders. In the months leading up to the murders, the Wamsley household was marked by escalating tensions and troubling signs. Despite their financial stability, internal family conflicts became more pronounced. Andrew's behavior had become erratic. He frequently clashed with his parents and exhibited signs of deep emotional distress. His parents disapproved of his relationship with Chelsea Richardson, which only added fuel to the fire. Susie, increasingly isolated and overwhelmed, sought solace in friends outside the family circle, further straining her relationship with Rick. One notable incident occurred when Rick and Susie discovered Andrew's growing closeness with Chelsea Richardson, a relationship they strongly disapproved of due to her troubled background. This disapproval led to frequent and intense arguments within the household, exacerbating the existing tensions and contributing to the family's overall turmoil. During this period, Susie confided in a close friend about her fears for the family's future, expressing concerns about Andrew's mental state and her own feelings of helplessness. The family's once regular social activities dwindled, and their interactions with neighbors became less frequent, hinting at the growing internal crisis. Adding fuel to this volatile mix was Andrew's new girlfriend, Chelsea Richardson. Chelsea had a history of troubled relationships and seemed to exacerbate Andrew's rebellious tendencies. She quickly became a fixture in his life and exerted considerable influence over him. As tensions reached a boiling point within this fractured family dynamic, no one could have anticipated just how far-reaching and devastating those cracks would become. This chapter sets the stage for understanding what led up to that horrific night that would change their lives forever.
On December 11th, 2003, what started as an ordinary evening for many in Mansfield turned into an unimaginable nightmare for those who lived near or knew Rick and Susanna Wamsley. The night began like any other. Rick returned home from work around 6 p.m. while Susie prepared dinner as she usually did on weeknights. They ate together quietly. No one could have guessed it was going to be their last meal together. Around midnight, an eerie silence enveloped the neighborhood except for one house where chaos ensued behind closed doors, the Wamsley residence. Andrew, along with his girlfriend Chelsea Richardson and their friend Susanna Toledano, meticulously planned out every detail leading up to this horrifying moment. They believed eliminating his parents would solve all their problems, giving them access to their $1.65 million estate and a $1 million life insurance policy. At approximately 12:45 a.m., a loud crash reverberated through the halls, followed by muffled screams, causing neighbors nearby to stir awake. Inside the house, Susie lay lifeless, covered in a pool of blood on the kitchen floor, having been brutally attacked first, while Rick tried desperately to defend himself upstairs in the bedroom, where he too met a gruesome fate at the hands of assailants whose rage seemed to know no bounds. Minutes after committing the heinous act, they fled the scene, leaving a trail of destruction behind them, hoping to blend into the shadows. Little did they know, their actions would soon come to light, sparking a massive manhunt involving multiple law enforcement agencies determined to bring justice to the victims whose lives were tragically cut short. The initial police investigation into the Wamsley family murders was both thorough and methodical. When officers arrived at the scene, they were met with a grisly sight: the bodies of Rick and Susanna Wamsley, each bearing signs of a brutal stabbing. The home, once a symbol of suburban tranquility, was now a blood-spattered crime scene. Detectives immediately secured the area, meticulously documenting the scene, taking photographs, and collecting physical evidence. The weapon used in the murders, a kitchen knife, was found discarded near the bodies, its handle smeared with fingerprints. Blood spatter analysis suggested a chaotic and frenzied attack. Initial theories ranged from a home invasion gone wrong to a possible vendetta against Rick, given his business dealings. However, as detectives interviewed neighbors and acquaintances, they learned about loud arguments and screams coming from the Wamsley home in the days leading up to the murders, hinting at internal family conflicts. One of the first significant breaks in the case came from forensic evidence linking Chelsea Richardson to the crime scene. This evidence, along with a confession from Susanna Toledano, led to the subsequent arrest of Andrew Wamsley and Chelsea Richardson. Forensic evidence and witness testimonies played crucial roles in linking them to the crime. Andrew's erratic behavior and incoherent statements raised immediate suspicion. Under questioning, Andrew's account of the night's events was inconsistent and riddled with gaps. Forensic experts worked diligently to piece together the timeline of events. The examination of Andrew's clothing revealed blood splatter patterns that were consistent with close-range involvement in the attack. The discovery of Andrew's prior altercations with his parents and the family's disapproval of his relationship with Chelsea Richardson provided a potential motive. Investigators also found text messages between Andrew and his girlfriend Chelsea Richardson that suggested premeditated discussions about harming his parents. As investigators dug deeper into the case, attention naturally turned towards identifying all possible suspects and understanding their motives. While Andrew Wamsley was quickly identified as a prime suspect due to his presence at the scene and erratic behavior, Chelsea Richardson and Susanna Toledano were also scrutinized. Chelsea Richardson emerged as another key figure. Text messages exchanged between her and Andrew revealed disturbing conversations about harming his parents, a chilling glimpse into their dark intentions. Friends described Chelsea as manipulative, exacerbating the already strained relationship between Andrew and his parents. Susanna Toledano, a friend of both Andrew and Chelsea, initially seemed to play a peripheral role but later proved more significant. She had been privy to many conversations during the planning stages of the crime and even participated directly, according to evidence uncovered during the investigation. Forensic analysis revealed fingerprints belonging to both women on the murder weapon, further solidifying their roles as co-conspirators alongside Andrew. Their collective motivations appeared rooted not just in financial gain, but also deep-seated resentments towards the norms and expectations imposed upon them by society and their families alike. Susanna's reasons seemed less personal and more opportunistic, aligning herself closely with friends whom she believed would benefit financially, thus improving her own circumstances indirectly as a result of the successful execution of the plan devised collaboratively by all parties involved. These revelations painted a stark portrait of a conspiracy driven by multiple factors ranging from emotional turmoil to financial desperation and misguided loyalties, leading to the tragic end of a once seemingly idyllic family unit now forever shattered by acts of betrayal and violence of incomprehensible magnitude. The arrests in connection with the Wamsley family murders were executed with precision following an exhaustive investigation that left no stone unturned. Armed with mounting evidence pointing unequivocally towards the primary suspects, Andrew Wamsley, Chelsea Richardson, and Susana Toledano, law enforcement officials moved swiftly, ensuring justice would be served. Andrew was first taken into custody without incident at a local hospital where he had been treated for minor injuries sustained during the violent altercation preceding the arrests. His demeanor fluctuated between defiance and despair, reflecting inner turmoil, grappling with the consequences of actions committed under the influence of rage and manipulation alike. Chelsea's arrest proved slightly more dramatic, occurring during a late-night raid conducted by a SWAT team who apprehended her at her residence in a nearby town amidst cries of protestations of innocence, quickly silenced by overwhelming evidence presented against her undeniable complicity in crimes committed against unsuspecting victims, trusting implicitly those they loved most dearly. Susana's apprehension followed shortly thereafter, culminating in a coordinated effort by multiple agencies working tirelessly around the clock to bring closure to a grieving community reeling in the aftermath of an unimaginable tragedy unfolding right before the eyes of everyone involved, directly and indirectly affected profoundly and deeply. Key evidence leading to these arrests included forensic analyses linking suspects directly to the crime scene through fingerprints, DNA samples, and corroborated witness testimonies, text message exchanges detailing premeditated plans, all converging to form an airtight case ready to withstand the rigors of legal scrutiny awaiting trial proceedings yet to come. The trials of Andrew Wamsley, Chelsea Richardson, and Susana Toledano were highly publicized and closely followed by the community. The courtroom was often filled to capacity, with media outlets providing extensive coverage of each development. The prosecution built its case on a solid foundation of forensic evidence, witness testimonies, and incriminating text messages. They argued that Andrew, driven by deep-seated resentment and financial greed, orchestrated the murders with the help of his girlfriend Chelsea and their friend Susana. The prosecution presented detailed timelines and expert analyses that painted a clear picture of premeditation and collusion among the three defendants. Key testimonies came from friends and acquaintances who recounted conversations with Andrew and Chelsea about their disdain for his parents and their plans to eliminate them. Forensic experts testified about the blood spatter patterns, fingerprint evidence, and DNA analysis that tied Andrew Wamsley and Chelsea Richardson to the crime scene. The prosecution also emphasized the erratic behavior displayed by Andrew on the night of the murders, which was consistent with someone who had committed a crime of such magnitude. The defense teams for Andrew, Chelsea, and Susana each attempted to cast doubt on the prosecution's narrative. Andrew's defense argued that he had been manipulated by Chelsea and that he was not in his right mind due to psychological issues. They presented expert witnesses who testified about Andrew's mental state and history of emotional distress. Chelsea's defense sought to portray her as an unwitting accomplice who was under Andrew's influence. They argued that she did not actively participate in the murders and was coerced into going along with Andrew's plans. Susana's defense claimed she was merely a bystander who got caught up in a situation beyond her control. They argued that her involvement was minimal and that she did not have any direct role in the killings. Despite these arguments, the overwhelming evidence presented by the prosecution made it difficult for the defense teams to sway the jury significantly. The text messages between Andrew and Chelsea were particularly damning, as they provided clear evidence of premeditation and intent. Significant developments during the trial included emotional testimonies from surviving family members who spoke about the impact of the murders on their lives. These testimonies added a poignant human element to the proceedings, reminding everyone of the real-life consequences of the defendant's actions. After weeks of intense legal battles, closing arguments were made, and the jury was tasked with delivering a verdict that would bring some measure of justice to a grieving community. The verdicts in the Wamsley family murder trials were delivered amidst a tense atmosphere in the courtroom. Andrew Wamsley was found guilty on all counts, including capital murder. Chelsea Richardson was also found guilty of capital murder, while Susana Toledano was found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder. Andrew was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, reflecting the severity of his actions. Chelsea received a similar sentence, ensuring that she too would spend her life behind bars. Susana received a lesser sentence due to her peripheral role, but still faced significant prison time for her involvement. The reactions to the verdicts were mixed but largely supportive of the justice system's outcome. The Wamsley family murders and trials profoundly affected Mansfield, leaving the community in shock, grief, and betrayal as they struggled to understand the violence within a seemingly normal family. Reflecting on this case raises important questions about what drives people to commit such acts against their loved ones and how we can address underlying issues before they escalate. If you found this series compelling, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on TikTok for more deep dives into the darkest corners of criminal investigations. Click the bell icon for updates. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep seeking the truth. Goodbye for now.